Tesla? Is it an energy company? Is it a battery company? Is it a car company? Who cares what kind of company it is? Those guys over there at Tesla, they know what they're doing. And I'm a huge supporter of Tesla and everything that Elon Musk is doing over there as far as his vision. So I'm gonna give you guys some game today and just really share our story, my family's story, on how we were able to capitalize during this dip, during the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Coronavirus, COVID-19 is the same thing. I'm not editing that, by the way. All right, so it's insane to think about Tesla's value has literally, it's risen above, I think, $600 billion the last time I read it, making them the most, I think, valuable automotive company in the world, you know. And I honestly wouldn't even classify them as an automotive company because of all the different things that they're doing over there at Tesla. So I really feel like they're one of the leaders of the new school. I started researching the company back in, I think, 2018, summertime 2018. I started doing a little research on, you know, the cars and, you know, what they were doing as far as energy. And it just all made sense to me. And my first time actually seeing a vehicle in person was back in 2013. And it was, I think it was it was July of 2013. It was my first time seeing the entire, you know, front display, just all screen. I mean, that was kind of wild to kind of see. Back in 2013, if y'all can remember, iPads were really just starting to hit that brink of becoming like a thing. You know, everybody didn't have iPads back then. So seeing a full screen display was just like it was like unheard of. So I saw the full screen display and I'm just like, wow, like this is what the future is about to look like when it comes to, you know, automotive cars and everything. I think that was the Tesla S at that particular time, maybe $70,000, $80,000 vehicle. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I said all that to say I knew it was going to be a big thing. So I slept on it for a few years. I started making investments in other different areas. But a year ago, which was 2019, I, you know, was looking at the company and it was around $322. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait on the dip. You know, I still want to invest in Tesla, but I'm gonna wait on the dip. So I literally sat around waiting for months. There was no dip. The company was just, you know, skyrocketing. And fast forward to 2020, February, I think the company was sitting at about $922 per share. And I was just like, man, I should have got in at 322. It was a year ago, February, it was at about 322. When I looked at it, February of 2020, it was like 922. And I just, you know, was sitting on my hands. I'm like, wow, this will be one of the biggest financial mistakes that I'll ever make in my life. And I'll just be in my rocking chair at 70 years old, just telling my grandkids about this opportunity that I missed out on, you know. And I'm not gonna go on a whole, you know, motivational spiel here, but you have to seize the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity, because you just never know when that window is gonna close. But lo and behold, a month later, everything shut down. The COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, all of that happened. Businesses shut down. And it caused, you know, just like every other business out there, a lot of companies were dipping, and Tesla was one of those companies. So I saw the opportunity, and it didn't get back down to the 322 like the year prior, but we waited and we waited and we waited, and we actually got in at 422. It's just amazing that what started to happen. You know, just like any other good companies that we invested in back in March, Tesla being one of them, Tesla being the, you know, the highest margins, highest ROI. I think our lowest ROI from the stocks that we purchased back in March and April, the lowest ROI, return on investment, has been 73%. Since I last checked. And that's pretty, now it makes, you know, the 675% that we're up on Tesla makes that 73%, you know, look like, you know, like baby money. But You think about it, going 73% year over year in the market, man, you're doing some big things. You would be considered a genius if you were doing that, year over year. So we got in at 422, and what started to happen, just like all the other investments that we made, all the companies, all the reputable companies started to rise again. A lot of the companies did capital raises that I feel like have really saved some of those companies so far. So some of the companies that we invested in were kind of risky, especially like in the travel space. I have like a couple of airline stocks, a couple of cruise line stocks that are up like 150%. I mean, still, incredible. Like MGM, I think it's up like 180%, something like that, something crazy. So we made a lot of plays. I think we got in at MGM at like $7. So $7.73. So that was another good investment that we made at the beginning of the pandemic. Back to Tesla, so what we started to see was the company started to rise just like all the other companies, and Tesla was taking off. I mean, past 2000. Now, I think once it got back to that 900, which was that 922, which I think at that particular time was around the 52-week high, which was the all-time high at that particular time. I was just like, wow, I can't believe this is happening right now. And when it got to 1,000, I'm like, oh my God, like this thing is really bullish right now. It's crazy. We just sat and we just watched. And I was like, okay, the market has to adjust. And when the market adjusts, we're gonna go and we're gonna purchase some more. And what started to happen was the market was not adjusting. The market was not adjusting. It was continuing to soar. And we just continued to watch. And what ended up happening was the company actually did a stock split, right? So meaning that I think it was a 5, was it a 5 times? Yeah. So it was a stock split that gave you 5 shares for every 1 share that you owned. So basically, if you own 5 shares, you would get 10 shares. If you own 1 share, you would have 5 shares. So it would just, times 5, whatever the amount of shares that you had at that particular time. And so I was like, okay, now we own more shares. I still feel like, and I started getting excited about it, I'll be honest with y'all, because I was like, okay, what happens when the price goes back to the point that it was when they did the stock split? I think the 2,500, 3,000, it got up to something crazy, y'all. I don't remember, but I know it split right there, and I was just thinking like, wow, what's gonna happen when it gets back there? And hopefully they'll do another split again, and double us up again. But it ended up being a great decision that we made. Now I'm a Raven fan. Man, not just because of the financial gain, but really because of Elon Musk and, the type of person he is. I feel like y'all know Elon's a rebel. And all my life, I've kind of been the type of person that went against the grain and, challenged narratives and, did that whole thing. And, I feel like he's the same type of person. I said on one of my posts on Instagram that, Elon he's the modern day Albert Einstein, our modern day Henry Ford. If you wanted to know what it looked like when Henry Ford was building the Model T back, I think in the 20s, 30s, way back yonder, you are now watching the throne. Like you are now watching it. Elon is doing it, man. Word to Jay-Z, shout out to Brooklyn, But yeah, man, I'm loving what's happening over there at Tesla. I'm really hoping that it splits again. Today, as I'm making this video, hit another all-time high. I think price per share now is like $6.57 or something like that. Last time I checked, I'm not sure what it closed out at today, but around $6.57 per share, and continuing to trend up. Now I know you guys know about the recent news with the company being added to the S&P 500, which was, man, you had a lot of investors that was against that. You had a lot of people over the past few years that's been saying, Tesla's a bubble, and, just saying a lot of bad things about Elon Musk, saying a lot of bad things about, Tesla as a whole. But men lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie. And the numbers right now, oh my goodness, it's crazy. So with them being added to the S&P 500, I feel like they solidified themselves as a serious company, as a reputable American company. And Elon is continuing to make big moves. Even today, well, not today, but sometime this week, he actually, well, no. I take that back. A couple of months ago, he actually sold all his stuff in California, like all his houses in California and everything. And as of today, he moved to Texas. And you think about Texas, no state tax. You think about Texas when it comes to, now you talk about, going against the grain. Like Texas is one of those states that, they kind of do their own thing. So I think Elon gonna fit perfect there. But I will say it's a little mind-blowing thinking about, wow, a few months ago, this man's net worth was $27 billion. Today, his net worth is $155 billion. And that's just in the span of a couple months. Massive increase in net worth because the man gives massive value. If you're a new investor or you would like to become an investor and you not really know where to start, I've been there before. I grew up, my background, like where I come from, we didn't learn about stocks. We didn't learn about real estate. We didn't learn about how to grow, businesses. We didn't learn how to multiply income. We didn't learn about that type of stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set aside a section on this channel strictly for people that just want to get started with investing, and we're going to start there. And as we continue to grow together, as we continue to grow the channel together, we'll start getting into more complex stuff and all of that. But this is primarily going to be for the beginners, kind of like intermediate beginner, right? And then we'll start getting into some advanced stuff on down the line, whenever we get there. So I'm signing out. Deuce the Dope Dad. Like, share, subscribe, and all the other stuff that my wife says in her YouTube videos. See, she's a big YouTuber. Follow her, Life with MC, right? This is our vision board right here, right? We got vision boards all over the place, like I said in my last video. But this is one of my wife's vision boards. We're huge Nip fans. I've been a Nip fan since like December of like 2010. I remember riding home. This video ain't about Nip, but I remember riding home from college, headed home. I think it was on winter break. Marathon mixtape had came out, and oh my God, it got me all the way from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, back to Alabama. So shout out to Nip, man. He's definitely provided some inspiration for this household, a lot of inspiration for this household over the course of the last few years. And my wife, she's doing some big things in the credit game, been helping tons of people. It's crazy, man. I knew this girl when oh my God, I'll tell y'all our story later. I'm signing out.